Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Honorable President of Pakistan, Kashmir Affairs Ministry, to Sasi, Dr. Maria, to all the respectable politicians, ministers, diplomats, ambassadors, and ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for organizing such an august gathering to mark this Kashmir Solidarity Day. This day is marked every year in Pakistan and around the world. Pakistani diaspora expresses unity with our freedom struggle. But I want to give it another shade as well. I was born in Pakistan. Half of my family from my mother's side is from Srinagar. I was a very small child and I used to collect funds for Kashmir, the Kashmiri victims, when I was just 5 or 6 years old, and I used to win competitions along with my brother and sister in Beacon House when we were studying there. We would collect funds for Somalian children, for Bosnians, for Chechenians, I remember, for Afghani children, and my parents encouraged us a lot. So I never knew that destiny would take me to the forefront of a freedom struggle, and I would be lucky enough to marry a man who is the pioneer of the armed struggle in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, but then he renounced it and he followed the peaceful political means of resolving the Kashmir issue, and he became a very strong and powerful political voice. And you know, just when I was going through these visuals, this has been with me since childhood, because maybe I'm an artist, I'm very emotional, and I can feel the pain of people, maybe even if I've not gone through that. So I used to paint Kashmiri victims as a child. And when I met Yasin Malik, the chairman of Jammu Kashmir Liberation Front in 2005, I was also one amongst you in the audience, and he was reciting a poem of Faiz Ahmed Faiz. ये धरती धड़ धड़ धड़केगी, हम देखेंगे वो दिन कि जिसका वादा है, जो लोहे कलम पे लिखा है, हम देखेंगे जब जुल्म व सितम के कोहे गिरां रुई की तरह उड़ जाएंगे हम महकमों के पांव तले, ये धरती धड़ धड़ धड़केगी और अहले हुक्म के सर के ऊपर जब बिजली कड़कड़ कड़केगी. I mean, there are a lot of diplomats over here, but I'm sure you could not understand that. But it means that, you know, certainly a day will dawn when Kashmiris or people under oppression will get liberated. And when I was sitting in the audience, it was just like my soul was shaking because the pain with which he was reciting, because he is a man, ladies and gentlemen, at the age of 14, he put a sticker of Free Kashmir, and he was taken to the interrogation centers, he was kept in death cells, he was kept in mental asylums without clothes, he was tortured for so many years, a normal, sane person kept with mentally retarded criminals. So he has gone through so much, and when he fell in love with me, because for me, Kashmir, or any bond that you have with any person or with any cause, I think the first and foremost connection should be from the soul and the heart. And it was all love and heart for me. So today my message to all of you is that let's join hands, regardless of what color, caste, creed, or religion, or nationality we belong to. Let's join hands for humanity. Let's start a new era and battle for love, because that is what is the most powerful emotion in the world that can make us conquer mountains, can make us go and jump in wells, because that is what it was for me, because it was like going into a death cell, literally, when I decided to marry Yasin Malik. And he just said 2 lines to me, ladies and gentlemen, because it's very important to give a human touch, because we are human beings at the end of the day, no matter what area we belong to. And he just said that meri zindagi mein sirf gum hai, thodi si khushi chahiye. I can translate it into English, that in my life there is only tragedy and sorrows. I just need a few moments of happiness. And that was the moment I decided that I'm going to give my soul, my life, my every moment of my life to this great cause of liberation. And at least it's a cause to really live by. Every moment of my life is under attacks or under threats. My husband, they could do anything with him, with his people. My daughter, this little girl, she's in the end, she's 6 years old, and she's deprived of seeing her father for almost 4 years. And she was attacked as a baby by the Indian forces when we would go to the central jail to meet my husband. And in this 9 years of marriage, I have only spent 60 days with him. The rest, he's been in prison or we've been divided. And as it was mentioned before that leadership also does not have travel documents to travel around the world, as the Foreign Minister of Pakistan already said, that I wish they could be. The whole world wants to listen to them. And luckily last year when I went to Norway, because the world keeps, a lot of people keep saying that, the world has kept a criminal silence. But I always felt that no, it's not just the criminal silence. Maybe it's the propaganda of India, that their hyper-propagandistic nature of projecting our cause as, God forbid, it's linked with terrorism. It's deep-rooted, it's a purely indigenous movement, and the videos that you see here, very few of them have even stones in their hands. So it's not like the stone pelters are combating people with guns or shooter guns or pellets. It's unarmed. Even the stones, a few on the front rows, they have them. So it is an unarmed nation that has been held hostage by the highest occupation of the world. Just for a moment, imagine yourself, you're all from liberated countries, from sovereign nations, that you are in a place, you don't have an army to protect you, you don't have your own government, you have no say, anybody can barge into your homes, kill you, rape the women, molest your children, disappear you, and you absolutely have nowhere to go. Your voice is silenced. Just the other day, Mr. Modi, the Indian Prime Minister, was in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, and can you imagine the state was like? There were shooters, there were snipers, there was so much of, already there's over 7 lakh Indian forces, and the extra forces were also brought into the valley, and telephone lines were shut, internet was shut. And now there was a new thing that even the television cables were shut and the radio lines. And it was like as if some person from hell was coming there, some monster, to terrify the people. I mean, come on, India is such a big democracy. But the world must realize that they're equally the biggest violators of democracy when they have hostage, kidnapped an entire nation. And it is the longest pending, prolonged martial law, I would call it, the deadliest martial law, which cannot be confronted. So I appeal to all the diplomats over here, especially from the Western world, because Pakistanis, every heart beats with the Kashmiri people. They feel their pain. And I'm sure you also. And for regional and global peace, because now I'm talking as a global citizen. I'm not talking as a Kashmiri. I'm not talking as a Pakistani. Purely unconditional, selfless. We are global citizens. We are in a global era. And we need a global voice. And if we want regional and global peace in the long term, we have to resolve issues which are chronic and crucial and which are the longest pending in the United Nations. And that happens to be the issue of Jammu and Kashmir, a promised right given to us by the UN. It's a very, it's not something that we're asking some rocket science. It's a right which every human being has, a right to honor, dignity, and freedom. And that's all what we're asking for. So that's where we need your help. Maybe if you try to help the people of oppressed nations right now, we could, on the whole, make this world a safer place for our future generations. Because we right now do not have a voice, even though I have a voice, but our voice is being silenced. So that's where your role comes in. And every human being has a limited life, and whatever good we can do in our careers, in our lives, for our loved one, let's do something larger than life. So please contribute towards Kashmir, and now the peace talks are happening in Afghanistan. I mean, there were so many wars going on there, and finally now the world has decided that let's give peace a chance, and let's have table talks. So I hope that the world will now focus more on the oldest pending conflict in the United Nations. And in the end, I would just like to conclude with this poem I've written on our conflict, on our freedom struggle, and it's titled Carnage of Freedom. Let's stroll into the gardens of heaven, they say. Is it life or a tempest wild today? The occupiers' greed, the occupiers know. My creed is my Kashmir, be it heard afar, but never low. If thou seek heaven on earth, go witness that beauteous, beyond all praise, a place called Kashmir, without the veils and curtains raised. And now this verse is for all the pellet victims. My shattered eyes are a sight to see, what heaven coffined by griefs. These nameless graves of today were bustling crowds of yesterday, gone too soon, gone too far, where they lay. O mankind, now what to say? Have our turn and go away? The stains of their blood are alive, draining from every path and street. My countrymen have left for their trail without an arrow or a bow. In their hearts just a woe. Days to months to years they passed without the sight of your glance. Then a martyr came in my dreams and said, don't let my wailing mother know I have died, for this life is but one night. Rest awaits the dawn of light. Even the doom cannot shake thy glory of his soul. He who lies at the fountain of love is thy martyr. Through roaring freedom from the streets and facing lashes of the tyrant's heat, who whips our weakly bodies with darts and tears in our hearts, and to the helms of the mighty hands that twirl our necks and bows. Torture, trouble, mockery, slavery, at every mile, what all haven't I suffered in this trial? What liaison can we have with the budding flowers, they say? This verse is for that little girl, Asifa. She was 8 years old. She was gang raped in Jammu in a temple by fanatic Hindus, and then there were pro-rapist rallies. So these verses are for that innocent child. What liaison can we have with the budding flowers, they say? One moment pencils and books, the next pellets and insha. Oh my Asifa, we are ashamed to call this earth your shining ray, where you couldn't dance nor play to the joys of innocence that day. The beasts were feasting on your hues and cries, and the temple bells wailing your helpless sighs. The tyrant that feels proud today for wearing thy crown, who knows, Mishal, in this battle of swords and hearts, tomorrow it may forever drown. Thank you.